shit, but you look fine.
What's going on, everybody? It's the NBA Guru Show. I'm Zach. This is Nath, and we've had a couple of rough games by the Sacramento Kings in the last 2 days. It hasn't even been 24 hours. I think. I guess it has. It's been like 27 hours. But basically, Kings back to back, losing to Boston by 20, losing to OKC Thunder by 16, 121 to 105 tonight. Man, it is ugly, ugly stuff in Sacramento. I mean, is it tough to watch or is it just me?
Yeah, I feel like we haven't been on in a while. So, we've missed a few games here and there. But yeah, I mean, playing the Eastern Conference number 2 seed, former NBA champs, and then the best team in the league, in the West at least, back to back is not an easy task. But yeah, no, it's not looking good for Sacramento. We've been over this. I mean, we could talk about today's game, but you could clearly tell it's night and day between the two ball clubs, and you could see that today.
We had a third quarter that was the only bright spot today when we outscored them 39-25. But other than that, it was ugly, ugly defense. They scored 52% today compared to ours 41. We shot three pretty well. Yeah, 23 from 48, 48%. We're happy about that. Oh, wait. They shot 19 for 32 and shot 60% from three almost. So that's not
insane.
It's just, I mean,
once again, it's the same thing.
Yeah, we've come on here and we talk about how
it's like Groundhog Day, man.
3-point defense. It's the same thing. Usually we see 42%, 40%, 44%. Today we saw 60. So I mean, and the OKC Thunder were up 10 we're up 10 in the first quarter, and they had like 7 turnovers or something.
Yeah, so, they alone had like 4 or 5 turnovers. So, I mean, I actually think they played them. I mean, he ended up with 32 points, but I think they played them very well. But yeah, like you said, 60%, and they were missing J-Dub, Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, some of their best 3-point shooters. So, I mean, if you're giving up 60% 3-point percentage, you're not going to win those games. I mean, you had that third quarter where the Kings were hit like eight threes. Yeah, Keegan Murray himself.
Yeah.
Had I think like 5 or 6, but that was like a mirage. I was like in the desert, man. That was like a mirage. You see that water bucket. That's what that third quarter was, man. It was just a little tease, like maybe we could get back in the game, but I mean, let's be real. The better team was OKC. Yeah. It was just one quarter where the Kings they just had a run where they hit their threes. That's all it was. They were never really gonna beat the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No, their defense is too good, and Keegan Murray was the only bright spot. Honestly, he made 9 from 13 from 3, which is insane. He finally had a breakout game. He hasn't had more than 5 threes this year in a game. Today had 9, and it was his highest scoring game of the season with 28. So he had 3 blocks. He played good D as well as he can. Sabonis was a dud today, 3 for 12.
Awful.
Yeah, couldn't make a shot. It was one of those games for him. Took a lot of mid-range and threes today, and just couldn't make anything against Arkansas.
You also have to count. He came back. They said 10 days. He came back in 7 days, and he played 38 minutes on a back-to-back. So it was probably just a little bit of wear and tear and from that injury. But still, I mean, it was not pretty. Those threes were short, obviously.
Yeah.
Probably didn't have his legs under him. I don't even know why he was taking them. But yeah, that's the problem with Sabonis. He can't stretch the court like that. And a team against OKC, you almost have to.
Yeah, and it's rough. Zach LaVine, man, he's just continued to have a tough stretch. And I don't know if it's for personal reasons, what he's got going on, but 19 points, 7 for 16 shooting, 4 from 11 from 3. But the big number, I always see it. If I see it every game in the last couple of weeks, it's rough. It's plus minus. Yeah, minus 31, man. I mean, that's not even close to the second worst is Jake LaRavia with minus 16. I mean, everyone else is like a minus 10.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it could be personal reasons, but there's personal reasons. Then just sit out, man. Don't play. But if you're gonna play, then we're gonna criticize your game. So if it's for personal reasons, and it's affecting your game, then you're just hurting the team. Which, to be honest, is probably what Kings fans. If I was a Kings fan, maybe Zach LaVine's helping the tank. Maybe he's driving the tank. So maybe you want him to play, especially the way he's been playing recently. He had
Oh
that
yeah, for
stretch
sure.
too where he was shooting like north of 50% from three. But I mean, he's come back to reality, and Zach LaVine is going to be a problem for this organization, and we'll see what they do with him.
Yeah, minus. I mean, for 8 minutes for Jonas, I thought played terrible today as well. He was in there for 8 minutes, had minus
Yeah,
15. It just looked from the eye test too as well that
you
I
can't
mean
play
him.
Jonas against a team that like OKC or a team that's gonna, run like 5 out that can
Yeah,
shoot. He's not he's unplayable.
he is, and even Markel Fultz. Like if they had a lineup with Markel Fultz and Jonas on the in the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
and that was what cooked them. I mean, they made a little run in that third quarter, but then fourth quarter started. Fultz and Jonas is in the lineup, and it was
Yeah.
rough from there. No,
Just
like you
shrink
said,
all you have to do is shrink the floor if you have
yeah,
Markel and Jonas, and it just makes it way easier for the other team. But yeah, I mean, at least this game was closer than I expected.
yeah.
Especially I think the recent times. I think OKC and Sacramento. I think OKC's dropped like 140 almost every the past couple of times they played Sac and won by 20 plus. So
Mhm,
I guess this one was closer, and especially coming off a back to back against the former champs. But I don't
mhm.
think the issue with Sacramento is um their the way they play, as Flores here is
Yeah,
saying Kings didn't fold. So I don't think like playing hard is the issue for the Kings. I think they play hard.
yeah.
So I don't think they, roll over. But I just think it's more of like a personnel issue. Like you said, individual players, Zach LaVine, JV, they just don't really fit. It's more like the scheme and the personnel. So I think that's the problem.
No, for sure. Yeah, it was just a better team. I'm glad they fought. Um, I know Flores is saying, yeah, it was good. They didn't fold and stuff. We played hard. That was good. I mean, Shea, he didn't even have the best game today. He had 5 assists, 5 turnovers, and 32 points. Scoring wise, he did good, but shooting wise, 10 for 23 from the field, and had 5 turnovers on 5 assists. It's not the best performance in this,
I
but
thought Shea was. I actually thought besides, I think he had like a little stretch in the second quarter there where he
yeah.
scored like 10 points. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he ended up with 32 points. But SGA he's just gonna get there almost no matter what this season. He's just playing that way. But I thought Keon Ellis, and I thought when they blitzed him and got the ball out of his hands, I actually thought they were rotating well. The
Yeah.
Kings. I don't know why they did stop doing that for a second, and then Devin Carter on him was on him a couple times, which is just a complete mismatch. I
Devin
mean,
Carter, man,
yeah.
he either swishes it or he misses the
Oh my
basket
God, he had some
so poorly.
nasty bricks.
Yeah,
We've talked about his shooting before. Luckily, he's a
yeah,
rookie. Typically, shooting gets better, and it's actually I think one of the easiest things to fix as a rookie.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I think there's hope for him in the future. Hopefully, he could fix his shot. But yeah, it's not pretty.
yeah. And even defensively, he was getting cooked as well, and that's supposed to be his forte. I mean,
Yeah,
it's been a rough season, but I just don't want to clearly put him out of the put him in the doghouse yet. I mean, just let's see how offseason goes with him. I'm not quitting on that guy. I think he'll be all right next season. Let's look at the comments real quick. Without Malik Monk, yeah, not a lot of playmaking. I mean, he was missed, but I don't think it would have changed much. Appreciate everyone showing up here today. If you guys want to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. BJ saying hello to everyone. I like it. Suttonham saying what's up to everyone. How you doing? Matt saying what's up. I love it. Kings don't. Flores saying Kings don't match up well with this team. They're too athletic and can shoot threes. Yeah, that's a problem. We're not an athletic team, and it's going to be tough to match up with those much faster teams and explosiveness. I mean, Shea's explosiveness was like he was playing like a different league or something compared to the Kings whenever he was going inside of the paint. I mean, I guess he does that to a lot of teams, but it was just he just gets to that line so easily.
yeah. No, Shea was he wasn't doing the little foul baiting stuff that you typically see, and he typically gets flack for. I don't think he was
Yeah,
doing that a lot today. But I also think the refs, I kind of like how they officiated the game. They let him play. I wish more games would be officiated that way. I know we
yeah,
get on the refs lately, but I thought they were letting him play physical, and they weren't letting Shea get those ticky tacky calls. Like I said, they
Yeah.
defended well against Shea. Yeah, there wasn't Malik Monk, but I mean, Malik Monk did play against them back in February. He had 19, 4, and 7. And he
Hmm.
also played back in November, but they still ended up getting blown out those games. So I don't think, like you said, he would have made much of a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you don't have Malik Monk, the problem is he's really your primary, creator, and
Yeah,
that's
for
not really
sure.
his forte. Keon
Uh,
Ellis, I think, still has a ways to go to really reach that level of playmaking and
mhm.
passing. So I don't think he has that vision yet. So yeah, without Malik Monk, I mean, pretty much relying on Levine and DeRozan to ball handle, and create, and that's
Yeah.
definitely not their strong suit.
No, for sure. Just tough games. We'll see how they do next game. And it's going to be a tough stretch. I mean, we got 10 games left. We got 35 wins. We're still poking in that ninth seed right now, tied with Phoenix. And we'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of swing in the last 10 games, but we said 38. We said 38 wins, so we'll see.
We did say Portland coming up next on Thursday, I believe.
Oh, yeah, at
Portland
home.
lost to Cleveland in a tight one today. That's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
Portland is right. Portland is, let's see, yeah, they're 4 games behind in the loss column. They probably won't catch Sacramento. But Dallas did just get Anthony Davis back, so that was an interesting twist
Oh, yeah.
in the play-in chase.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, like we've been saying, if I were Sacramento, I would want to get that 11th or 12th. Obviously 12th is going to be hard, but that 11th seed, I would do everything to keep your pick. You saw today, if you the peak for Sacramento is probably 8 seed, and then you play OKC, and
Yeah.
I think that's a sweep. I would be
Yeah.
shocked if anyone had it. If anyone else has it anything other than a sweep, I don't see the Kings taking one game there. So I mean, that's pretty much the ceiling for this team: sweep versus OKC. So you want to go the other way and keep that pick, and then this draft is maybe you could get a playmaker, Jeremiah Fears out of
Oh,
Oklahoma.
wow.
He's a guard. Maybe you could get him. He might
You're
fall.
looking ahead. I like it. I
Yeah,
like
yeah. I
it.
mean, you got to look at. Yeah, I haven't done all my draft stuff, but with the NCAA tournament, or you get to see some of
Yeah.
these guys. Maybe you could get that playmaker that you need. So that would be much better if you could get that pick this year, and then next year is Matthew saying tank for flag. Yeah, I mean, hey, there's like what 1%. I mean,
Yeah.
there
There's
would be like a
small chance.
1 to 2% chance. I mean, it's happened before that the
Yeah.
Sacramento Kings win the lottery. So I'd rather have my name in that lottery. So as opposed to just that pick going to the Hawks.
Suttonham's thinking opposite. He's not giving up on it. He wants to do some. Looks like he wants to do some lateral moves. Give it another shot for next year.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I mean, I don't think we agree with that, but it's
Yeah,
fine. I mean,
he's lighting the beam. We're lighting the tank engine, man. We're
yeah,
lighting the tank engine over here. That's what we've been doing. We've been
we've been saying.
proponents of tanking. So I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Interesting opposing view. I'd like to hear his any more thoughts on that. What his goal is? Does he just want
because
to
like
see Sacramento win?
yeah, if we do the lateral moves and stuff, it's just we're just not going to get good value. I mean, like if we trade for Sabonis, if we trade Sabonis, we're just not going to get that much good back because he's such a hard player to trade as well. I mean, he's such a he is a niche player and his contract's crazy and 45 to 50 million dollars coming up for the next few years. So it'll be tough to get really a lateral move back and stuff. But
You don't think you could get a first round pick for him?
I think we get like a first. Yeah, I think we get a first back, but it's just for draft picks. Yeah, we can. But if we're trying to do the Suttonham way and try to lateral move
Oh,
our
you're
way,
trying to say, oh no. I
yeah,
think he wants to run it back with the same core. I think
I
that's
don't know
what he
because he
wants
said
to do.
chemistry says looks bad. He thinks the chemistry
I
will
don't
get
know if he
better.
thinks
Maybe.
the chemistry is gonna get better.
Yeah,
Since they're all new, meshing together, maybe he thinks Zach LaVine's just having, like you said, he's having personal issues. Maybe he needs a
yeah,
summer in Sacramento. He needs to adapt, and then I think that might be what he's thinking. Just have everyone adapt, but then if you do that, I think the biggest need is a point guard playmaker.
yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
if you go his route, I think you need to bring someone in like that. If you just, I mean, I'm assuming you keep Doug Christie, keep Monte McNair.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm assuming that's what he's hoping for.
And you know what? Let's just get to it. Let's just get to it right now. The topic of the night is Monte McNair. Is he good? Was he bad? Should he be gone? We got to look at all of his transactions. Let's just get into it. This is what the people want. We're doing this before any other Kings podcast or any other going over Monte McNair's tenure here, because most likely than not, we will be getting rid of him. So just be wary of that. I think he's going to be gone.
Oh wow, you think he's out the door? 1 foot out the door?
I think he's out the door. And when we're going through all of Monte McNair's transactions, we're going to pretend that it is him. Fully him. I know people say there's going to be some transactions that it's Vivek and and he was the one that did it, but just for the sake of just being consistent with every transaction, we're going to go through as a Monte McNair pick. So let's just get to it. I have a hot take just from the beginning.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I don't even know if it's even I don't think it's a hot take, but his first transaction, his first move as a Sacramento Kings GM was drafting Tyrese Halliburton November 2020. Okay,
yeah, if you remember, that was a COVID year. NBA Finals were in October. Monte McNair, that was his first move. He just got hired. So, yeah, let's hear it. Go ahead.
The hot take is I think that's his best move of his entire tenure is his first move.
Oh, no, that's not a hot take. I think that is a hot take. Whoa, yeah. You think that's a hot take? I think that's...
Maybe it's not hot. It's fun. It's
no. I think that's by far his best move. What would the second would probably be? We'll get to it. Yeah. Obviously, the trade for Sabonis ended up working out for a year. That was probably, we'll get to that trade.
Yeah.
That was a very, debatable hot topic trade. But yeah, I think when I was looking at his roster moves, I was like, that is by far his best move, drafting Tyrese Halliburton. I think he peaked early, man.
Yeah. That was his first move, and I think it was his best. We both think it. But let's just go chronological order. Tyrese Halliburton was in that draft, and he drafted Xavier Tillman, Jamias Ramsey, and Kenyon Martin Jr.
Good draft.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about the draft?
Honestly, that's probably an A draft. If you look at Tyrese Halliburton, I think a lot of the people at the time actually was surprised that he fell that low. So for him to snatch him up, that was a good move. And at the time they had Fox, so it was not an easy choice, Obviously we'll see later down the line. Maybe he did get a little point guard heavy. But I thought the Tyrese move was a great pick. Xavier Tillman ended up being a good role player in the league. He played on those Memphis Grizzlies, has those playoff performances with Memphis, and then KJ Martin himself also not a decent role player. So to hit on 3 or 4 picks, that's probably his best draft, I would say.
Okay, and then next day he traded Xavier Tillman for Robert Woodard and a 2022 second round draft pick, which turned out to be Isaiah Mobley.
And that's where it starts to go down, and this is where it starts to go downhill for Monte McNair.
Xavier's still a solid player, playing to this day for Memphis. He had some good years there, and he's gotten good minutes. He's nothing crazy or anything, but he was a solid piece.
Yeah, he was a solid piece. Like you said, they traded for Robert Anthony Woodward, who's not even in the league anymore. Right. And they got a second round pick who ended up to being Jabari Walker, who ended up going to Memphis. So yeah, that was not a good move. And then he also ended up, I think, if you want to say his next move.
Let's see, Pageman. Why would you take Tyrese when you have Fox? Was he playing best player available? 100%. I think he was playing best player available. He knew at Fox, but he got lucky to even have Tyrese in his hands like that. That was an insane luck. Sometimes you got to be lucky, but he took best player available, and it worked out because it got him Sabonis.
Yeah,
one of our best assets. And Tyrese was the best pick in that spot where all from everything that McNair had available. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, no, Tyrese was definitely the best pick, and it's not like the NFL where you're just drafting for need. I think in the NBA, the move is typically to go best player available, and you just hope it works out.
Right.
You know, you put 5 of them on the court and just hope it meshes. Obviously, it didn't end up working out. 2 ball handlers. You know, like you said, he ended up trading him on his rookie contract for Sabonis, who they ended up having to pay later. But yeah, if you look at the draft, I mean, the players drafted after Tyrese was Kyra Lewis, who went 13th. He's been in and out of the league. He's been going back and forth between the G League and the league. I mean, Aaron Neesmith, he's out in Indiana. Cole Anthony, Isaiah Stewart, Pokochevsky, who's not even in the league anymore. So, I mean, the best players drafted after Tyrese were Tyrese Maxey, who went 21, who's probably was probably hands down the best player after Tyrese, but he's a point guard as well.
What would you say, like, for when a GM picks? Like, it's unfair to say, all right, we had the 10th pick, and then, you know, at the 31st pick was Jokic, and we should have picked him. You know, that's 20 spots away. What's like a fair amount of picks away that we can be like, hey, like you could have, he was around where you were, and you should have considered him more.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think it depends. Like, so if you're like in the lottery range, then I think maybe anyone in the top 20, or like if you're in the top 5, then obviously maybe like the lottery, anyone in the lottery,
right?
Essentially, you could probably reach for. You could trade down maybe if you really like someone. But yeah, I mean, just in general, I would say probably like 8 to 9 picks, maybe 10 picks at most. What about you?
Yeah, I'm giving the GMs a little bit of a fair, like I'm thinking like 5 to 7 picks away is like like 7 picks away. Like if you're the 12th pick, if you're the 12th pick, then whatever all the reports were saying for the top 18, 19 players, then
I'll say 8 to 10. I'll say 8 to 10. So I guess Tyrese Maxey would fall in that range, but I mean, it's the same dilemma, Tyrese and Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have just ended up trading Tyrese, which probably, and I think Tyrese Maxey is better than Tyrese Halliburton. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, and I guess maybe we should go over the bigger things for. I mean, well, not every move. So I mean, the next move was Kenyon. We traded Kenyon Martin Jr. McNair traded Kenyon Martin Jr. November 2020. Also, for cash and a 2021 second round draft pick, which was Luke Garza. I mean, Kenyon Martin's still a solid role player, and that doesn't get too many minutes, but I mean, he's still in the NBA compared to Luke Garza.
Yeah. No, I mean, like you said, I don't know why I mean, he's a solid like bench guy, Kenyon Martin Jr. I think this trade, I mean, obviously it ended up probably not being, he ended up losing this deal, but it's not a trade that, you know, costs them or I would look too deeply into at the end of the day. So we could move on to the next one.
All right. We got a couple of signings. I mean, Hassan Whiteside, Chemezi Metu. I mean, these are all nothing too crazy. So some of the smaller stuff. I mean, he did what he could. Here's an interesting one. In March 2021, he trades Bielitsa to the Heat for Harkless and Chris Silva. We got a trade exception too, but what do you think about that trade?
Yeah, I think I think your memory would probably be better on this one because I don't know if it was well received. I think the reception from the Kings fans was pretty poor, if I recall.
Yeah,
and they got for this Bielitsa deal. So I think they did not like this deal. So I'll let you speak on it.
Yeah, I think Bielitsa was more valuable than what we got for him. I mean, he played for the Heat and then the Warriors. He actually did really good with them a year or two later. So
he won I think he was on the championship team with the Warriors, no?
In 22, I believe so, actually.
Yeah, so
I'll
he
have
was
to double check that.
Yeah, so I think
he played with
and he was getting like minutes with the Warriors.
Yeah, he played 71
solid minutes off the bench playing in the finals.
Yeah, 16 minutes per game, 71 games played with them. He did pretty good. So he was valuable. And Harkless didn't stick around for us at all. And Chris Silva, I don't even remember him playing.
Yeah, I think you'd have to grade that. You'd have to give that.
Yeah, it's another L.
Yeah, that's an F move.
All right, well, that's another bad move. But we got a good one here. He traded a 2021 second round draft pick to the Raptors for Terrence Davis.
And what date was that?
That was in March 2021 also.
All the March 2021.
And Terrence Davis turned out to be a great scorer off the Kings for that Beam Team year. Pretty good player. He was an outstanding just scorer off the bench, kind of like a poor man's Jordan Clarkson, just scoring. Had some crazy games against Nets on TNT. Even played some big minutes in a Game 7 in the NBA playoffs in 2023 against the Warriors. So I thought that just give it a second round pick for that. That was a good W for McNair.
Yeah, that was a good move. That was definitely a good move. Terrence Davis was a pure scorer from what I remember. He was a bucket getter, could get his own shot. So I would I'd give that a B+.
Yeah. We got some sources from Baki who's friends with
Okay,
Bielitsa's
Baki's
dad.
saying he's friends with his Bielitsa. Wow, Baki must have been heartbroken
We
about
got
that
some.
deal then.
Yeah, that's true. He must have been not a
He
happy
must have not been
camper.
happy.
No. Let's see. Here's another one. March 2021 traded Corey Joseph, a 2021 second round draft pick and a 2024 second round draft pick to the Pistons for DeLon Wright. I can't. I think that and DeLon Wright was traded like a few months later. He did not last with the Kings. Didn't play.
He got traded in August 7th to the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah. He just here's a common theme that we're gonna see in a lot of McNair's trades. Throw in second round picks like willy-nilly, like it's candy. Like, it's Halloween from him every time he makes a trade with second round picks. Stop trading your second round picks, man. They're useful, especially in the new CBA where they're way more useful now. He's trading them like crazy. That's I don't know why he's been so careless in his second round picks in his whole tenure, man.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning of them.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can already see that trend here where he's just getting rid of second round picks that are hitting too. Xavier Tillman, Kenny Martin Jr. But like you said, that might be I know we said we're gonna pretend like this is all Monte McNair. That might be a win now. These might be win now. I'm GMing for tomorrow move. So that's why he's getting rid of all these second round picks. He's got that pressure on him to win now. So he's trying to get win now players. You see him training for Terrence Davis, DeLon Wright, bringing in Tristan Thompson, these older veteran guys that he was probably hoping they could win now. He's probably thinking, what am I going to do with KJ Martin, young Xavier Tillman,
right?
Instead of just sticking to his scouts and sticking to his guns and letting these guys develop.
Right. No, I agree. And let's just get to the next draft in July 21. Because we could be here all day with every transaction.
We'll just hit on the big ones and the draft picks.
Yeah, so we got Davion Mitchell at the 9th pick and Keta with the 39th pick. There was a guy that was rumored to be with us. A lot of the reports and a lot of the mock drafts, and the guy that was probably the guy to pick in that draft was Sengun at the 16th pick compared to the 9th pick. McNair got lucky the year before with the Tyrese Halliburton pick that he just fell to us. This year he got in 2021 he got unlucky when Franz Wagner gets picked right before us. That was the pick that we would have probably made if we.
Are you sure he would have taken Franz over Davion Mitchell? He didn't even take, like you said, Sengun over Davion Mitchell.
Yeah. Davion was an older prospect as well. Played very well in his college career, but
that's the thing. I'm gonna say I don't understand this pick. He was a 6-foot guard. I think that they were hyper focused on defensive player, or like a defensive player. That was his strength at Baylor. He was on that Baylor national championship team. Yeah. He won Naismith Defensive Player of the Year in college that year. But I don't think that's an award that you want to really look too deeply into. If we go through the award, Marcus Scarrett won it for Kansas 2019, 2020. Matisse Thybulle, who, obviously he made the NBA in 18-19. He won the award. 2017, 18, Javon Carter. He's still in the league. He's on the Bulls. He won the award. So, if you look at these names, they're not really names that are scream 8th, 9th overall pick. And not just that, look at the stature of Davion Mitchell. He's a 6-foot point guard. He won Defensive Player of the Year in college, but you're guarding much less athletic players in college.
Right.
So I think this is his worst pick. I think this was poor scouting.
Yeah.
This is by far his worst draft, and this pick might have, if it would have been like Şengün, like you said, or I think Trey Murphy went later in that draft. So there was players. I mean, Franz Wagner went the pick before. So
yeah, I think he would have picked him just because we needed a wing as well. But again, he's trying to pick best player available. He obviously wasn't the best player available. He shot decent from the field in his last year, but he was just like McNair. A lot of his picks, they're older prospects. This guy,
he was older.
Like 3 years. Yeah, another 3 years in college.
He transferred from Auburn, right?
Yeah, and had 2 poor 3-point shooting seasons as well, and his free throw percent was poor all around. And he took a chance on that. And
I mean, looking at the names, Jalen Johnson. I mean, look at what Jalen Johnson's out for the season now, but look at what he's been doing for. He's one of the best wing, probably defenders in the league for Atlanta now. There was a lot of good players. Pejman mentioned Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is just a pure scorer. Quentin Grimes. I mean, Quentin Grimes has been looking like prime James Harden the past couple of weeks. So there was a lot of good players in this draft. I mean, they went with the 6-foot point guard out of Baylor. So I don't understand that pick at all. I didn't understand it at the time either.
If we're going by our rules, where you're saying I got 7 picks, you got 10.
I say 8 to 10. You say 5 to 7.
Yeah. So Şengün and Trey Murphy are probably, those are the ones that could have looked at and got. And the thing is, like, would we have Sabonis right now if we picked Şengün? We would have Şengün and Halliburton would be crazy.
Şengün and Halliburton would be there we go. Yeah, see, if you would have traded Fox, I mean, obviously he would have got a lot of he would have got a lot of flack for trading Fox at the time if he would have stuck with Tyrese. But you also have to look at the contract situation. You trade obviously Fox was going to get paid more and sooner than Tyrese would be. So if you would have you could have Tyrese and Alp on rookie deals as opposed to Sabonis and Fox who are going to take up the majority of your cap, and you ended up having to pay Sabonis a couple years later. So this is really, I think, where it really backfired on Sacramento. I mean, obviously hindsight's 2020. We could say they should have done this, they should have done that, but it's easy to look back. I mean, this is obviously just all hypothetical. But yeah, this was a draft. This was a draft. I mean, just looking at all these picks that went after, obviously I said 8 to 10, but Keon Johnson is playing well for Brooklyn right now.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of good players in this draft.
Okay, and then 2021, he traded DeLon Wright to the Hawks. All right, whatever. Let's see. The Boston Celtics trade Tristan Thompson to the Kings. During that trade, it was a 3-team trade with Sacramento, Atlanta, and Boston.
Right.
And it wasn't anything crazy. I don't think we have to go over this one. It was just a whatever trade.
Yeah.
We get Alex Len in 2021 in August. That was notable. And then let's just get to it. The big one, 2022 February. It's the big trade. Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson to the Indiana Pacers for Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a second-round pick. This pick is a little polarizing. For me personally, I was shocked. A lot of Kings fans love Tyrese. He loves Sacramento. He wanted to be a big part of the future for this team, and we just kind of said, hey man, like, you're our best asset. We got to get good soon, and let's just do this. To this day, I'd still rather have Tyrese, but he was the one. I mean, Fox's value was very low because Fox wasn't performing as well and was kind of being a little, not pettier. He was just like not playing very well, and he wasn't very happy with Tyrese being on the team and taking his usage. And we've seen Fox be upset over the years here and there and not playing to his peak performance he can. And Fox wasn't worth anything, so they had to trade Tyrese. Indiana wanted Tyrese, and so they said, hey, let's try to get Sabonis. Let's try to have that they've always wanted to have a good guard and a good center, and so they went for it.
Yeah, this is a big one. This is a big one.
The biggest one.
At the time, I think the media gave Kings a lot of flack for this deal. I think the majority, the consensus was that the Pacers won this deal. I think over time, you don't really hear about this trade a lot anymore in like outlets and stuff because it's sort of been like I think people will call it a win-win. I would be curious to hear what Kings fans' thoughts are, if it's like 50-50 on this deal or if it's like polarizing deal between Kings fans, if they would have rather kept. I mean, you said you would have rather keep Tyrese instead of trading for Domas. I know a lot of Kings fans, they ended up getting Domas and they had that first round series. That first round series probably doesn't happen if they would have kept Tyrese. I don't know any other deals. Obviously, we don't know what other deals were on the table, what other players they could have got for Tyrese. But yeah, like I said, I mean, this is a big one. And I think the majority, if you ask the majority of, analysts and journalists, they would probably say right now it would be a win-win, but I'm not sure about that. It might have looked like a win-win when they're taking the Warriors to Game 7, but looking at it now, I would probably say the Pacers got the better deal. They got Tyrese Halliburton on a rookie contract, and I think when they traded for Domas, I think that he had like 2 years maybe left on his deal or something, a year and a half. But yeah, I think I would just lean I know Tyrese numbers have dipped. I will say Tyrese numbers have dipped this season. Tyrese does not look as good as he did last year when he took the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I will say that. But I think Tyrese is 4 years younger, I want to say, than Domas. And then also, if you look at, if you would have told Kings fans they were trading De'Aaron Fox only 3 years later, then I mean that's the one that hurts really. Once we get to that Fox deal and you end up with neither Fox, if you would have told the Kings fans you don't have Fox or Tyrese in 2025, then I don't think a lot of Kings fans would be happy with that.
Yeah, I think it looked really good in the first year. Sabonis, or the following year, I guess Sabonis took us or helped us take us to the playoffs. Haven't seen it in 16 years, and it's been good. So that year was good, but after that, it was just. I think as time goes on, the Tyrese trade will look better and better for the Pacers because of how he's young and he has dipped a little bit. But I mean, he's still like such an elite playmaker for the Pacers, and he's still averaging what I'm looking at his numbers right now. Yeah. He's averaging 18 points, 9 assists, 47 from the field, 39 from three. I mean, 86 from the free throw line. Those are good numbers. I mean, those are good numbers. He doesn't play a lot of defense, I will say that, but Sabonis doesn't either. And Sabonis has been contributing. I give him props. I mean, that guy plays his heart out. Just like today, he came back after a sprained ankle. We thought he would, be done for the season. He tries so hard to play every game. I love his durability. But as far as contributing to winning and the impact, I got Tyrese a little bit ahead of that just because I like the playmaking. He's easy to put in a team and kind of just get players around him, and it's very easy to play around him. Sabonis is different. You have to kind of have a different, unique team for him. He's more of a niche. You got to have people playing off of him. He's a little bit harder to kind of play around. But for me, for what I see, that's why I like Tyrese a little bit more, and it's just going to look better and better for the Pacers as the years go on. But we never know if Monty was pressured to start winning now, and it was on the table. Yeah. You had to take it, but
this was definitely a win now move. You wanted to you wanted to accelerate the window of making the playoffs. I think Tyrese was just too young, and obviously the fit with Fox wasn't the best. So so they want to bring in a big, like you said, and Domas has been good. He's probably been better than Tyrese in a vacuum this season. He's averaging 19 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, but he just doesn't, like you said, there's just the playmaking isn't there. He doesn't stretch the floor like Tyrese, which is what the Kings, I think, need right now. So I think, like you said, if we revisit this in 5 years, I think it will be, majority will say that the Indiana Pacers won the deal.
This is something I gotta bring up here. Would Malik be signed if we still had Tyrese? That's so hard to predict, but I will say this: something that we forget to mention, we forgot to
Yeah.
mention is that Bogey Bogdanovic. We
Oh
did not
yes.
re-sign him. We did not re-sign him. We didn't even give him an offer, and he just left for nothing. We didn't get a sign and trade. We didn't get any assets back. And Atlanta gave him, I think, a 4-year, $72 million contract. Didn't get anything better. So if we kept Bogey, I don't think we would have gotten Malik. But because we got rid of Bogey, and I think that gave us the outlet to get Monk as well pretty soon here as we
Yeah,
keep
like big
going.
cash on that Bogey. That was also
Yeah.
a terrible move to let him walk for free.
Yeah.
So
If
that
you have
is
an asset,
also
you got to keep. Yeah. If you have an asset, you got to keep them and get something for that asset.
exactly. That is definitely another. That's definitely a terrible. That was definitely one of the Monte McNair's worst moves.
Yeah. And another player that we'll bring up soon here that kind of was that probably we wouldn't have gotten Monk with. The Kings did a 4-team trade. There's so many players involved in this; it's hard to really say. But basically, the Kings traded Marvin Bagley. Is that right? We finally got him out of here to the Detroit Pistons, and we got Trey Lyles back. I thought this was a really good trade for Monte McNair. What we got in value for him, and we got also Dante DiVincenzo,
Yes.
which is crazy. I don't know that this is actually one of McNair's most underrated trades. Just looking at an just by itself, how we got, we just traded. Let's see, Vanja Marinkovic, a second round pick, and Marvin Bagley, and we got back Trey Lyles, Dante DiVincenzo, and we got Josh Jackson, who didn't really play.
Yeah,
But
Josh Jackson was a bust. Top four,
yeah,
former top four
uh,
pick.
yeah, and actually Trey Lyles, he was I think Trey Lyles is the 8th or 12th pick. But anyway, I thought this was one a McNair win in my book for
Easily,
sure.
yeah. For
Yeah,
sure. I mean, Dante DiVincenzo and Trey Lyles still contributing. So,
yeah.
not a lot of the players that we talked about, they've gone on to different teams, but Trey Lyles is still contributing. We'll
Mhm.
talk about what he did with Dante DiVincenzo later. So I think that we
But
do have to come around to that.
that's
Um,
crazy. A second round pick and Marvin Bagley for Dante DiVincenzo and Trey Lyles, who's still on the
yeah,
team, and that's a really good value trade.
yeah, that was a great, to get that. It was a four-way deal, like you said. I mean, I think
Yeah.
maybe the Pistons were just banking on maybe a resurgence when Marvin Bagley's second team being his second team. They're banking on his draft capital being the second overall pick. Milwaukee Bucks ended up getting Serge Ibaka. So just looking at it from the other teams' perspectives, I think they're obviously in a win now mode. Serge Ibaka was at the end of his career, could provide vet Christians, but the Kings by far won this deal.
Yeah, and this is where Luke Walton's tenure starts to go away. I think he was the coach at the time, and he was trying to play Dante DiVincenzo not that many minutes, so they would get him at a better price and stuff like that. Dante kind of caught on, was kind of pissed with the organization, not getting a lot of playing time, and he said, "See you later." And so
Yep.
did Luke Walton. Luke Walton said, "See you," because he got fired as well. So all that happened. And so that gives us Malik Monk. I think that when we signed him to a multi-year contract, but right before that, is the draft in 2022, and the
Mm-hmm.
Kings select with the 4th pick in Keegan Murray.
Yep.
And the big consensus was Keegan Murray or Jaden Ivey. Those were the two. Most fans wanted Jaden Ivey. Actually, I too wanted Jaden Ivey,
Oh, is
but
that
Keegan
right?
looked. Yeah, I wanted Jaden Ivey as well.
So the
And
majority
I
of Kings fans did want Jaden Ivey.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so this Keegan Murray pick, I think the Kings were doing some victory laps after they made the playoffs. Obviously, with the Warriors in his rookie year, they're like,
Mhm.
oh, and Monte McNair, this is the year he won Executive of the Year, if I'm right.
Yep. Yeah.
2022, 2023, the year that they made
Yes.
they took the Warriors to 7. They were one of the best teams in the West, one of the best records in the West. Monte McNair wins Executive of the Year, but man, this is a bad pick. I think we're gonna look back at this pick. I think I like Keegan Murray. he has a special role in the league. He's a wing that could shoot threes and defend. But for the 4th overall pick and just looking at the players around him, I think Jaden Ivey. I'm really high on Jaden Ivey. I think he's going to be really good. He showed flashes before he got injured this year, playing in Detroit alongside Cade. So I mean, I don't know. Like we talked about this before. I don't know if it was because he had Fox already, but that hasn't deterred Monte McNair before from selecting a point guard to pair up with De'Aaron Fox, as you see with Davion Mitchell picks in the lottery, Tyrese Halliburton pick. So I think he was probably I think he was sort of drafting for, like you said, I think a lot of his moves are like win now sort of moves. And I think that's what this is. I think maybe he probably had Jaden Ivey sort of close. So he maybe went with the one that would help him now. Because I mean, these GMs, they sometimes, especially if you have an owner that's fickle, they're short-sighted. They're just worried about, I know this happens a lot in the NFL, where you just want to keep your job. So you end up making win now moves that can hamper the organization down the line. But man, looking at these picks after Keegan Murray, not just Jaden Ivey. I mean, Shaedon Sharpe went 7th, Dyson Daniels went 8. Jeremy Sohan, which is, okay, he's okay. He's not nothing crazy. J Dub went 12. I mean, Jalen Duren went 13. I'll stop there. But yeah, I'll let you.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Jaden Ivey, I liked him. I mean, he it looked like you were saying we were running victory laps because Keegan was playing out of his mind his first year, and Jaden Ivey wasn't playing that well this first year. His shooting was terrible, his defense was terrible, but now, Jaden Ivey is the younger prospect. Right now, Jaden's 23, and Keegan is almost 25. So that's about a 2-year difference. But Jaden Ivey, man, he was playing really well before he got hurt. Set 18 points, 46% from the field, 41 from three. Still 73% from free throw. But I mean, he can attack. He's playing well with Cade. He can penetrate very well. He can play make a little bit, 4 assists. Still working on that aspect, but I mean, I think he's like really good at going inside and driving into the basket. And so I like that. That's hard to find in the NBA. But Keegan, I mean, he is what he is. Like you said, he's just like a solid wing, plays solid defense, and can get on a heater for threes once in a while. And we need him because it's been so hard for the Kings to find a wing. I don't know why. I don't remember the last good wing that the Kings have had, really, like maybe Ron Artest or something. That in 2006 when we traded Peja for him. But I don't see that many good wings that the Kings have had. It's been so tough for them to find. So they almost, I don't know if he was pressured. This was the only way to find a wing and to do it for this draft. He had to go for it. And get an older prospect, maybe try to win now with Sabonis and Fox. But it's tough, man. I mean, I would still rather have Jaden Ivey. I probably would have been upset the first year or two because Jaden was slowly getting better. He wasn't that good in his first year, but
he wasn't that. He was not good in his first year.
Yeah. So, it's like the opposite effect. Like Keegan's been slowly declining, and Jaden's been slowly getting better. But
I mean, if you, just put it like in a vacuum. If the Kings were to call Detroit and say, "Let's trade Keegan for Jaden Ivey," I mean, Detroit is probably saying no. I mean, most likely.
True.
But like you said, wings are those 3-and-D wings are sort of like the sort of like the golden ticket in the league right now. So I think that's why Monte McNair leaned that way. But man, Jaden Ivey is just 6'4". He's got a good body frame. He's super explosive. He was not shooting well, like you said, his rookie year. But like I said earlier, with rookies, I think shot percentage and just shooting. I think that's one of the easiest things that you can improve on, as opposed to like explosiveness or like wingspan, which Jaden Ivey has. He has that sort of. I want to say like his comp is sort of like Donovan Mitchell. I think that's a good comp for him. So I think that that's just. I think wings are, like I said, the golden ticket of the league right now. But it's not easy to find a player with Jaden Ivey's explosiveness either. And especially, I mean, to be fair, they didn't know you're going to trade. Obviously, if you knew you were going to trade Fox in a year or two down the line, then that's a different story. And the Fox trade is another thing, another topic we'll get to.
Yeah, it's those are good points. I don't know, like Shaden Sharp, like you said, could have been drafted. But yeah, this was, I think maybe McNair thought, hey, like I haven't been getting a wing in a while. It's very hard to get a wing. I'm just going to draft one right here. And I mean, yeah, well, potential wise, Ivy definitely wins, but Keegan's still a solid player. So
no, he's a good
I can't
player.
go too hard. Yeah,
he's not 4th overall in that draft. Not the 4th best player in that draft.
All right. So next, McNair next move traded a 2022 second round draft pick. Isaiah Mobley was selected for Sasha Vezenkov and cash. Decent trade because it's a decent trade, but it didn't work out in the end. Sasha was a failure when he came pretty much to Sacramento and didn't play that well and played no defense. Didn't really look like he was an NBA player couldn't keep up athletically and just looked flat-footed. And I just didn't think he was.
Well, he was a EuroLeague MVP, I think, right?
Yeah, he was very hot in the EuroLeague. Yeah, EuroLeague MVP.
Trying to get that Luka Doncic.
Make up for it. Oh man, Pageman's trying to make us rush here. We're getting there. This is the fun part.
There isn't many moves after.
Yeah,
there ain't many moves to talk about.
Yeah, McNair pretty much stops here pretty soon, so we're getting there. Then we traded Jaden Hardy to the Mavericks for a second round pick and another 2028 second round draft pick. Jaden Hardy, a decent player for Dallas.
Yeah, Jaden Hardy pick was a great pick. Another player that Sacramento can probably use now. So he was on the Dallas Mavericks, he did get minutes in the NBA Finals, so as a rookie. So I think he's still growing, but that was a good pick, and that was not a good. I mean, we'll see because he traded, I think, for a 2028 second round pick, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see who he selects with that pick. If he's not going to be I'm assuming Monte McNair is not going to make that pick, but Jaden Hardy's a good player. I don't understand why he traded him away for pretty much pennies. So that's a bad move in my opinion.
All right, then in the next one of a big move here, Kevin Huerter for a first round pick that's protected, Maurice Harkless and Justin Holiday. Looked good the first year. After that, it went downhill, and now we hate it. And we got rid of him with the Fox trade. And I thought I liked Kevin Huerter a lot, and I actually liked the trade because I like Kevin Huerter. We needed shooting for Fox. We needed Fox to have some people to pass to get some shooting for, and we just couldn't find any good shooters. And Kevin Huerter was perfect. I thought he played okay defense in Atlanta, but he turned out to be a very bad defensive player. And then started not shooting, which is why we got him here. So I don't know what happened to him. He was excellent the first year, and still never forget that Utah game where the whole crowd went wild when he made a 3-pointer in the last seconds of the game, and it almost broke the noise meter or noise for the broadcast. But man, it's tough to see this one not go well, and we're still paying for it now. Basically, maybe this season.
Yeah, this one hurts. This is an awful trade. You're essentially traded if you do make the play in this year, you essentially trade a first round pick for Kevin Huerter, which is not a good deal no matter which way you look at it. So to give up that first round pick for Kevin Huerter, who you ended up dealing the year that the pick might convey, is just an awful move. Another awful move by Monte McNair, which there's been more awful moves we talked about than good ones.
Yeah, a lot more bad than good. Here, quick one. Sam Merrill. We actually signed him to a multi-year contract, and now he's playing beautifully for the Cavs. Wish we kept him. I mean, he's shooting lights out for the Cavs. Really good, spot shooter. He's shooting, I think. I mean, this year's he's a 38%. Let's see, what is he?
Was he undrafted?
Yeah, 38%. Yeah, I think undrafted.
He's a good, he's a sniper.
Actually, no, sorry. In the 2020 draft, he was selected 60th overall.
Oh, he was the last pick. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good move.
And 38% from three. His career. I mean, yeah, it's just a small move, but like he's been playing well, and just kind of tough that we couldn't keep a guy like that. But now we have a lot of blanks all the way up to the draft, basically the 2023 draft. What do you think about the trade where we traded basically Rashawn Holmes to give away to Dallas, and they said, and then we said, hey, you can have our first round pick for taking Rashawn Holmes.
Yeah, what was up? Was Vivek strapped for cash, man? Did he need the money? I mean, why would you make that deal? Cash consideration?
I don't get it. I was just jaw dropping for that one. Sabonis, I don't know if this is the year that we signed Sabonis to for his contract, and I don't know if like they were trying to make room for it. I think so. But still, like you can't just be giving up first round picks like that. They're valuable pieces.
Yeah, I mean, that's I think everyone can agree this was a unanimously trashed at the time.
This is a big L,
and looking back at it does not look any better. So I mean, we're seeing a trend here with these Monte McNair moves. You could say some of these moves aren't all on him. You could blame the owner, but I mean, he's not building up a good resume right now as we run through this, and this is also another one of his worst moves.
2020, and then around that same time we traded for Chris Duarte. We traded 2 second-round draft picks for him. Again, we've been talking about this. He's just throwing away second-round picks like it's nothing. I don't like that, and it's just another big L for that one. I mean, there's not much to say about that one. Duarte didn't play that much.
I don't know if he was hoping, because Duarte was also a high lottery pick, I think.
Yeah,
I think he was taking he was taking a flyer on him, but 2 second-round picks is
a lot.
2020 and 2030 second-round pick. It's a lot. I mean, these are moves that you kind of make when now, like I said earlier, you feel like maybe your job's on the line. I mean, why does Monte McNair care? He's not going to be here in 2028, 2030, probably. So why not take a flyer on a young Chris Duarte?
It's so bad, man. I mean, Chris, like, I kind of thought he would be okay, but trading 2 second rounds was a lot. And he thought like he could be a flyer with like Sabonis because he played well with Sabonis, but it is what it is. We signed Sasha Vezenkov to a multi-year contract. I think it was like 3 years for like $7 million each or something. That didn't pan out well. Had to trade some second round picks to get rid of them. Let's see. Nothing really crazy. One more for 2023 was in July 2023. We signed a guy named Keon Ellis, an undrafted guard from Alabama. That is a big W for Monte McNair for finding him, because he's been outstanding for it. Yeah. The best defensive player on the team. Yeah.
One of his best moves. And who knows if that was him or Wes Wilcox, Who knows if that was even him. Usually the two-way guy, the scouts, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. We don't know. But I mean, whatever it is, we're going to give him credit, I guess, for it. And
we got to give him credit for that one. That was a big one.
That was a good one.
And he also signed Trey Lyles to multi-year contract that year. So those two still contributing. So those are good moves. Good July there.
Yeah, signed Keta, that's fine. Then we traded Dimitrios Agravanis to the Bucks for Robin Lopez and cash. That was whatever. And then we get to this one where it's very hard to really grade, but drafting Devin Carter, that's tough.
Wait, are you at the 24 draft already?
Yeah, we're already at 24. Am I missing some transactions?
When was the 24? The 24 draft was in early June, right?
Yeah, June 26, 2024. I think that was...
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, not too many moves for McNair, who just standing pat after the Beam Team year and a year where we didn't make playoffs, just standing pat. But anyway, we do Devin Carter. Start hard to grade, so it doesn't look great right now. We could have picked Dalton Connect. I actually like Devin Carter. I thought Dalton was not a good defender and stuff, and probably peaked. Well, doesn't have too high of a ceiling. I thought Carter's ceiling could have been will be higher. It's tough to really say, but again, did a couple trades where he traded Davion Mitchell in June 24, Sasha and a second round pick to the Raptors for Jalen McDaniels. Just getting rid of second round picks again to get rid of Sasha and Davion's contract. It's just you're going backwards when you're doing these type of trades. There's not too much to talk about. It's just more of the same.
I mean, we talk about Devin Carter. I know you like that pick, but I think we got to mention the guys that went right after him. I know we have mentioned this before, but Bub Carrington went 14th to Portland, who got traded to Washington, and then Khalil Ware, who looks really good, drafted by Miami 15th, and then Jared McCain 16th to Philadelphia. Dalton Connect went 17th. Yeah. And Dalton Connect, like you said, I wouldn't have too much FOMO over him. But I think the three players after have shown a lot of good rookie flashes, whereas Devin Carter hasn't looked good at all. But like you said, it's still early. Still we could just mark this one as incomplete for now.
Yeah, because we don't know about Devin Carter. Like Devin Carter had shoulder surgery. Need off season. Got to see.
That's true. That's true. He didn't have really an off season. He had the shoulder surgery. But yeah, Bub Carrington, and Jared McCain definitely will probably end up being better than Devin Carter. But I mean, it's not fair to write him off so early. Like you said, he can improve next year. So and then that trade, the Jalen McDaniels trade. Like you said, I don't understand that trade. Jalen McDaniels isn't even on a roster right now. So I mean, maybe it was like he didn't want to pay Davion Mitchell, like you said. I don't think Davion Mitchell would even cost so much, and then he traded Jamal Shed, who's actually getting a lot of minutes with Toronto right now. Yeah, it was actually another, we talked about it earlier, Naismith Defensive Player of the Year in college. Yeah, so that was actually a good pick, and he just gave him away for Jalen McDaniels, who isn't even in the league anymore. So I think that's a bad trade.
Yeah, and we got rid of Jalen McDaniels a few months later, and we had to trade cash with it and another second round pick. And we're just getting rid of these players because of contracts and stuff like that. I don't know. McNair didn't really do a good job of the financial part as well.
Yeah, just trying to get rid of all these contracts.
Right. Yeah. But let's talk about the big trade where we traded Harrison Barnes, a 2031 first round draft pick. Where they can switch
swap,
for basically DeMar DeRozan. I liked it. I thought it was worth the risk. We didn't make playoffs. We got a guy that's a top 30 or maybe top 40 player in the league, I'd say. Obviously defensively we're going to be a little bit declining. I think Harrison's probably a little bit better at defense just because of his size and stuff. But I think it was a good play just to go for it, and because we needed another scorer other than Fox and Monk. So I thought it was a good pick. I thought it was a good trade.
Okay, so this was a 3-team trade. Do you think that maybe they gave up too much? Because they gave up a 2020. Sacramento gave up a 2025 second, a 2028 second, Chris Duarte, Harrison Barnes, whatever. And then like you said, the 2031 first round pick swap, which, in 2031, that might hurt in 6 years. That's a long time. So San Antonio has a pick swap option. So obviously if that just means if the Kings have a better pick than the San Antonio, that pick will go to the Spurs.
Better start rebuilding now so we can be good in 2031. We got 6 years. Let's go now.
You won't have your pick if it's the Spurs have Wembanyama, so Wembanyama in 2031 might just be he might be at his peak powers. Yeah. So that pick is probably going to convey. So the best thing for Sacramento to do is definitely get ahead of the rebuild. Like we've been saying, get ahead of the rebuild. Try to build a competitive roster so that in 2031 this isn't a lottery pick that's going to the Spurs. But that's a lot for DeMar DeRozan. But Yeah, I mean DeMar's been good. It's nothing against DeMar. He was on 24 million, good salary to have on your books. Not going to hurt
I
the
think he's
cap
been the
too
best
much.
player for 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's been. I mean, it's nothing against DeMar. It's more just about the future assets you gave up. But I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I don't think this is. I would give this a maybe B minus, B.
Yeah. I
B.
think it was fine for where we were. It's obviously it's gonna be like if he leaves after this year, like we're gonna be like, oh, it's a bad trade. But at that time, in that
He's been
moment, I
good.
think it was fair. Yeah.
No, he's been good. He's been good. Like you said, he's been the best player.
Yeah. And then we get to a couple months ago where we trade De'Aaron Fox for Zach LaVine, a couple, 2 firsts and like 5 second round picks. And we traded Kevin Herter with him. I mean, it's tough. We said at the very beginning we're going to pretend that this is all Monty, but tough to say if Zach LaVine wasn't under what Vivek wanted to stay relevant and stuff like that. But we'll say it's Monty, and I wanted young pieces from the Spurs. I wanted a Sohan. I wanted a Vassell. I wanted a Champagny something, but we didn't get any really good pieces, young pieces back. Not really any promising picks other than maybe the 2030. What is it? What was it? The 2031 Minnesota pick.
2021 Minnesota. Yeah, right. It was
Um,
a 2020 first round pick from Charlotte, which is protected, I
2 seconds.
believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, it'll turn
then
into 2 seconds this year.
yeah. I mean,
2031. Yeah.
I think this is a deal that puts the buries Monte
Yeah.
McNair. This is the one that, I mean, okay, the last deal. I mean, obviously we've run through the resume. We've talked about this deal. We've talked about the previous deals. We've talked about all the bad deals, some of the good, but this is the one where it's just, hook and sinker, bury him 6 feet under, put the dirt
Yeah.
over his coffin. Cause this is a terrible deal. I don't care to get De'Aaron Fox. I mean, Rudy Gobert went for 4 first round picks.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges went for what? 4 or 5 first round
5.
picks.
Yeah.
And De'Aaron Fox, I think it's safe to say I mean, offensively, he's not even close to he's way better than both of them.
Yeah.
And to just get a terrible contract, and I think if we look at Monte McNair, I mean, to give him some credit, looking at these past deals, he did kind of avoid having like bad contracts on the books. So he was able to move players, but this Zach LaVine contract, man, 55 million, and then it's going to go up. And yeah, the player option, I think 26, 27. But yeah, this is the one I think that it's indefensible, man. To get this return, to not get any young players, to not set up for the future, to basically be the Western Sacramento Bulls. And I mean, DeRozan and LaVine didn't work in Chicago. What makes you think it's going to work in Sacramento? Is California that much better than Chicago? I don't think so. They're just going to start all of a sudden playing better. The water's different here or something. But yeah, this is.
Might as well trade Sabonis for Vucevic at this point. But yeah,
pretty much, man. This is. I mean, we've said, I mean, I don't know what there is to say about this deal.
Yeah, there's not much to say. We've said it a bunch of times. This is a really bad trade, and it's reckless. I think it's a reckless trade that he made, and it could cost us for a while because we just traded a top 25 asset, a top 25 player to me, at least, an asset just for not much, and just to stay relevant. And one of the worst contracts in the league, probably a bottom 10 to 20 contract in the league, easily. I think he's easily one of the top 15 worst contract in the league. And it could be Vivek related. I know a lot of people in here don't love Vivek.
It could be. I mean, just looking, like you said, at looking at past trends, Monte McNair hasn't really been one to trade for a bad contract. So, and this is was Monty the one that offered Zach LaVine the initial restricted?
Yeah. Actually, I can't remember. I think it might have been Vlade. I can't remember.
It might have been Vlade. Yeah,
I think it's Vlade.
Yeah. So maybe I think this all signs do point towards a upstairs ownership move. Just because they did try to sign him, and then they eventually trade for him. He's on the same deal that they offered him because Chicago matched it. But yeah, I mean, this is just all bad. The only unprotected pick you get is the 2031 first round pick for Minnesota. So every other pick you got was, the other 3 were or the other first round picks were protected. So like
I think we did get the 2027 first round pick from the Spurs, I believe.
Oh yeah, that one is unprotected, right?
So we'll
Okay.
get
The
that
two
one at least.
unprotected first, yeah.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
basically 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Okay.
Which
Yeah.
is nothing, not much. I
And
mean,
the
McNair's
Spurs,
gonna trade all of them in 2 seconds, I guess, if he had
yeah,
the chance.
exactly. He's gonna end up flipping the second round pick. I mean, yeah, this is not a good return at all.
But yeah, I mean, the rest of them were just small trades with the Laravia trading a second for him, trading 2 seconds for Jonas Valanciunas. More just throwing willy nilly second rounds everywhere, just throwing here, I'll throw him there. I mean, it was fine moves for making the team better a little bit, but it's probably not gonna. It's all gonna come for nothing. So we just traded these seconds for basically nothing because we're just trading for Jonas, who's going to be a contract for another year, I believe.
They're hitting on the second round picks. They drafted Jane Hardy,
Yeah.
KJ Martin,
Yeah.
Jamal Shed. So these guys are, these guys have get solid minutes in the league. It's not like they're just, I don't understand why they just throwing away these second round picks. If he's not, like you said, it could just be win now move. But man, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Anyway,
yeah.
appreciate everyone staying here for this long. If you guys can like, subscribe, follow Spotify, Apple, YouTube. We got on IG, everything.
Yeah.
Gonna conclude it pretty soon.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think about Monte McNair. If you guys want a Monte McNair in, Monte McNair out. I mean, we just ran through his whole resume essentially. And I would say that he did win Executive of the Year. He did have that 1 year, but yeah.
Give me his overall grade as a GM.
I was gonna give him an overall grade right now. I would say a C- or D+. What about you?
The first thing I was thinking was D+.
Yeah, C-. I think that's fair. I think he did not hit on the picks he needed. The De'Aaron Fox, like I said, that's sort of the hammer in the nail there in the coffin. So I think I would be shocked to see him return. There was news today where his right-hand man, Wes Wilcox, assistant GM of the Kings, is probably going to go to the University of Utah, and take their front office, take their basketball GM role. And this would be the highest ranking sitting NBA front office member to take a college front office job. So that's interesting. That's something else we can talk about another day. But yeah, not good. I'm not sure what the chat would think. Monty in, Monty out. But yeah, just let us know your guys' thoughts.
It's crazy that I mean, it's mostly Monty's like smaller trades where he's just trading all these seconds and like not getting anything back, and some of the draft picks could have been better that he kind of missed on. So it's all combination of those. He had a couple W trades, but overall just didn't cut it. And as a GM, honestly, after seeing all this stuff, he was actually, I think, a really bad GM. To be fair, we got to give him a couple props here. He did not have a great team when he got this team. He didn't have a great team. It wasn't like a star-studded, all these picks and all these players. I mean, we missed out on Luka, missed out on all these draft players, stuff like that. So he was handed a rough card, a rough hand, but that's his job. So he just didn't do well with it. And number two, I want to give, I got to give him props for something we forgot to mention. He did hire, I mean, actually, I don't know if it's props. He hired Mike Brown, coach of the year. So it did work out for a year, another
coach of the year and executive of the year for Sacramento just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Man.
And Mike Brown obviously gets fired later on, and we signed him to an extension that's also under McNair's belt. We gave him a 3-year, 30 or something like that, where he's getting $30 million. So that's also on Monty. To be fair, I liked Mike Brown. I wanted to stay, but it went all downhill real fast. But
yeah, I mean, Bob's saying it's Vivek, but I don't think the draft picks are Vivek. I think that's Monty. I mean, if you say it's Vivek, obviously, like firing Mike Brown, probably Vivek. Trading for Zach LaVine, probably Vivek. You could sort of see, I think, which moves are sort of, Vivek driven, sort of.
Yeah.
He had his say in it. So, but I think the draft picks, I think he's probably hands off. I mean, wouldn't you say Vivek probably isn't? He's probably not going to, he's probably not going to some city in Maine and scouting and watching YouTube videos of these collegiate athletes and going to the combine and stuff. So I don't think that the draft picks are all Vivek. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not too tapped in.
I probably agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I think the Tyrese, Keegan, Davion, I'd probably give it all to Monty because we kind of know how he kind of drafts a little bit. He's really high on stat like BPM and for college, and he has these specific stats like field goal percent stats and like 3-point percent stats, free throw percent stats that he's looking at, true shooting percentage, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's an analytics. Monte McNair's analytics. Yeah, he came from the Rockets, and he was under Daryl Morey, so he's super into the analytics side of basketball. He just spoke out at the Sloan conference, the analytics conference recently. So yeah, you're right. I think he's heavily analytics driven. So yeah, Bob's saying he is influencing the front office. Yeah, I mean that's true. I will. That is definitely true. Yeah. I definitely believe that. But yeah, I think he's just the draft picks anyway are Monte McNair's choices, like you said, super analytics driven. And oh yes, Satnam saying that the Levine deal was a Vlade Divac. When he was the GM, he's the one that signed him to the tender. So thanks for that, Satnam. Thanks for clarifying. I'm not putting words in Bob's mouth. I'm just saying. You just said it. It's Vivek, but yeah, you're right. You didn't specify. You didn't specify what moves were Vivek. So that's my bad. You're right. It's not all Vivek. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, yeah, I think he's gone, and we both think he's gone, and he's just a lame duck right now.
What do you think his percentage? What percentage of him would you give him for surviving this summer?
I don't know, probably like
assuming they make the play-in, and
if we make the play-in, I don't know. I think if we make play-in only, I think it's 10%. Playoffs, I'll probably up it to like 30. But
oh wow, you think if they make playoffs and like get swept by OKC, he's gone no matter what?
Yeah, I think that too. But I mean, like still 30%. I'll give it a little bit higher chance, but that he's or like 30% chance he stays. Sorry, yeah.
I think it's time for. I mean, he just won Executive of the Year, yeah. But I think, like we said, we just
went over everything.
We just went over everything. I mean, we just gave you guys a rundown, and I would be.
You heard it here first. No other Kings podcast goes through. No Kings podcast is going through this tenure like this.
Yeah, if you guys need any reminders in the summer, if you guys have any second thoughts about keeping Monty, run this episode back, and then hopefully you guys will bring in a new GM, and then the coaches. If the GM goes, I think Doug Christie will also go. I mean, I'll be surprised. The GM's going to want to bring in his own guy, or I mean, Vivek maybe might. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, we'll end it on that. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. The new GM, new coach. We'll see what happens. But overall, we do not like McNair, what he did, and he has been
overall. We'll give him a D plus. We land on a D plus. Yeah.
As a GM. So on that note, if you guys like, subscribe, follow the channel on Instagram, follow it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. We appreciate you guys for staying up this late. We're going to end it right here at midnight, and
we'll be on Thursday? Maybe.
Yeah, Thursday after the game.
Blazers game.
And
appreciate you guys.
We'll see you guys then, and take care. NBA Guru Show. Take care.
See ya.